Hello and good morning. Welcome back to another installment of Star Trek at 60. We are celebrating the 60th anniversary of Star Trek by looking back at the feature films. I'm talking a little bit about each of the 13 feature films and where I have them in my feature film rankings. The first two feature films for Star Trek are kind of an interesting mixed bag. We have the motion picture, which has some beautiful craft and score, but a weird story, maybe some weird performances. As I noted, that one, I have ranked 11 out of 13. Not the worst, but certainly an odd way to jumpstart the franchise on the big screen. And you follow that with Star Trek 2 in 1982, which is a masterpiece in The Wrath of Khan, a beautifully acted, a beautiful story, very inspiring. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, is somewhere in between. Now, in the overall rankings, I have a 10 out of 13, which would indicate maybe it's not that much better than the motion picture. I think it feels a little bit better, but it is a flawed film, and it was always going to feel like something of a come down from the high of Star Trek 2. This is one of two feature films directed by Leonard Nimoy, who played the titular Spock. He is not as present in this film as you might expect because Spock passed away at the end of Wrath of Khan. And there are some good directorial notes, but there are some probably odd story constructions. It's not a terrible story. They don't make as much use of Christopher Lloyd as the villain as you might have thought that they would. It's interesting, Kirk grabbing the OG command crew. They steal the Enterprise. They make it back to try to recover Spock. The Klingons are involved. They have replaced Savick. It's no longer Christy Alley. She gets recast as Robin Curtis. A little bit of a difference there. But there are some story things that don't totally make sense. For as excited as you are about having Spock come back and then being able to recover him, the whole David storyline of it all, and a really kind of quick, oddly juxtaposition death doesn't help. So Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, it's not a bad film, but there's kind of a middle leg of the original cast films in 2, 3, and 4. And 3 is definitely the weakest of those between two strong pillars. So we will talk about episode 4 next week. But Search for Spock, not terrible, not great. Just kind of hung out there. Well, that'll do it for Star Trek 60 for this week. Next week, back with a look